Hey yo, what's up, my guys? I want to talk about the top 5 reasons to fucking love this game. Normally, I come on here and I talk about a video game. I do 2 reviews, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on how much I have to say about the game. Usually, I do a review after played the game for about 10 hours, and then when I beaten the game. And a lot of you guys, you don't watch the final review with the spoilers where I beat the game, and you come back to me years later and say you didn't play all of God of War 4 or you didn't play all of Sekiro. Normally, when I do that, it's because I want to bitch about something wrong with the game, even with good games. I bitched a lot about Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War 4 and gave them positive scores. This game, I got almost nothing to bitch about. So let's get into those top 5 reasons. First reason, player freedom in terms of how you can play. Now, it's not just that you got a bazillion different skills and all these different stances for combat with just the sword in a samurai game. It's also that the game sets up so there's 2 other basically alternate play styles that you can do and completely change the way you play the game. Not only is there a lot of stealth mechanics in terms of you can sneak and you can backstab people, but they have an entire skill set of smoke bombs and distraction bells and explosive grenades, and you can fucking crawl. But just the environments even suit that playstyle. There's enough chest high walls, grass you can sneak through. You can crawl under buildings and through windows on top of roofs. There's all sorts of different ways that you can come at the entire game as a stealth sim. You could be a shinobi instead of a samurai. But not only that, the game has got enough going on with the bow where you don't even have to engage the enemy. You can shoot them from the next fucking county over, no problem. The game is all about freedom. Now, I would say that freedom is at the expense of difficulty, but if you think about it, it's an open world game, and it's all about point number 2, immersion. The wind mechanic, about where there's less compass, less bullshit on the screen, and it's more about focusing on the environment and the way the environment responds to the player. And combine that with the player freedom of you can dress how you want, look how you want, behave how you want. You could walk in through the front door and challenge everybody to a duel. You could sneak in. You could try to draw people out. You can do anything you want, and combine that with an environment that is everything looks different. Day-night cycle works great. The weather really dramatically changes the way everything looks. The environments are very varied, and the world is absolutely huge. And what's the best thing about the world being absolutely huge? Number 3, dude. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. This is not the most graphically intense game I've ever seen, but it's 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10 on the graphics scale. It looks really good, and the art style might kind of kick it up a notch. Where, certain things like maybe facial animations aren't perfect, the combat animations are, and the use of lighting really makes this game beautiful. But the number one most important thing about it is it loads fast. In 12 hours of play, this game has never crashed. No screen tearing. The draw distance is pretty damn far. And the PlayStation I got isn't even in wind turbine mode most of the time, which is shocking. And when I fast travel, the next environment loads within 10 fucking seconds. There's no other open world fucking exploration action adventure game on the fucking market that can do that on console. I don't know how Sucker Punch did it, but it's fucking amazing. Next thing is, I like the voice acting. I didn't save the best for last. Maybe I should have. I wanted to play this game with the Japanese audio, but the lip syncing is all tied to the English. So I had to try to give the English voice actors a chance. You know what? They do a good job. And you know what? The characters are a little bit one-dimensional, but this is goddamn Mongolians the Game. It doesn't have to be complex. And the world building is more in terms of kind of almost the cultural beauty, the love of the land is sort of the story behind this game. The characters don't need much more motivation than revenge and protecting the innocent. And that leads me into the next one, dude. The final one is this game really does make you feel like a badass. I'm not going to say make you feel like a samurai because that's not even the least bit accurate. This game could be a little bit immersion breaking in terms of actually how easy it is. The game gives you too much to do, gives you too much power, and honestly, a little bit too much in the health hit hit point department, and the resolve mechanic is very forgiving. So this is the kind of game where your little cousin or your little brother can pick it up at 8 or 9 years old and probably beat it no problem on medium and have a good time doing it. But you as an adult can play it on medium and have a good time just testing yourself, testing your mettle in stealth or in archery, or testing how well you can just walk into some place and use certain skills, do it any way you want, wearing whatever armor you want. And if you really feel like it's too easy, if the amount of shit to do and exploration and the fact that there's no level barriers or any of that kind of bullshit that's stopping you from doing what you want to do first, kick the difficulty up. This game is all the freedom that I personally as a single player gamer want. It's got every kind of suiting to a playstyle. I mean, it presents itself as a samurai sim, but you could be a ninja. You could be an archer. You could wear ridiculously heavy armor and just let people wail on you, or you could just wear like light clothes and go in there like Yojimbo and fuck them up. And the game does a great job of just making sure there's always something to do around the corner. The world is never empty. It'll spawn some bandits for you. You can't go too far without something to climb, something to find, something that's worth your time. And it never feels like too much of a slog, because most of the time you can just walk right past something you don't want to do. And if you need to go back to some place and craft something or pick up something else, or you want to go to a different area, it loads lickety-split and keeps you right in the game. So I could talk for hours just about my initial first 10, 12 hours of this game and how much I fucking love it. Me personally, I'm the guy who walks in the front door and says, challenge me to a showdown, kill 2 guys, and then blitz the rest while they're scared shitless that I just cut 2 of their men in half. Dude, I already got the hang of the stance switching thing, but you know what? If you don't like the stance switching thing, circle and square is all you need to get through this game. If you don't really want to engage the complexity, because it's complex, but it's not difficult. The complexity doesn't force you to think too much if you don't want to. It might take you a little longer to weak attack everybody to death, little square spam. But as long as you're on time with dodging and you pay attention to archers and you mind your surroundings, you're in like Flint, champ. You can play any way you want. You can be a despicable, dishonorable shinobi, or you can go in there like a complete thug. You can go in there like a thug in just glorious fucking samurai armor, or you could just go in there looking like some schlub from Samurai Champloo or something. Live any dream you want, dude. So that's in 8 minutes. What I could say is, so far, dude, this is close to a 10 out of 10, man. It really is. There's just nothing this game does wrong. Now, it might not blow you away in story. It might not blow you away in graphics. The gameplay might be a little too easy and doesn't really push you. But you can always up the difficulty. You can always change the way you play. You can always challenge yourself. You can skip things or do everything. This is a true sandbox, man. And that's really all 5. It is a beautiful sandbox that never punishes you for playing the way you want to play. And I love it, dude. I love Ghost of Tsushima. Normally, I'm always here to pick on a popular game and say, here's what everybody's forgiving it for. And I'm sitting here saying, nobody's talking about how optimized this game is, how fast it runs, how smooth it is. It doesn't crash. It doesn't light my PlayStation 4 on fire. It loads like that. It loads like I'm playing on a nice PC and not a piece of shit Sony rig, dude. What else can I say? But buy this game. This is the kind of game where everybody who complains about multiplayer and getting nickeled and dimed in DLC and microtransactions, this is the full $60 experience. Don't pirate this. Don't buy this secondhand. Don't pick this up off your friend. Give Sucker Punch Studios $60 fucking dollars and say thank you for getting a game that doesn't just do the single player adventure genre right, but even pushes and advances it just a little bit. We all cry about how come games are all the same, games don't advance. This is the game. Reward them. Thanks for watching.